Welcome back to Newsday. That Nigeria's film industry is making a giant stride is only been modest, as different producers and filmmakers are not leaving any stone unturned in giving other continents a run for their money. After witness blockbusters such as Jagun Jagun, Breath of Life, Gangs of Lagos, A Tribe Called Judah, Afamefuna has joined the train X-raying the apprenticeship system embraced by the Igbos, serving as a means to impart entrepreneurial skills. The significance of Afamefuna is the revitalization of a community's economy by allowing successful Igbo men to pass on their knowledge and blessings to apprentices, perpetuating the cycle of wealth creation. Directed by Kayode Kasum, with Olawumi Fajamirokun as its executive producer and Kenechukwu Egwe assisting her, Afamefuna cast remarkable actors like Kanayo or Kanayo, Segun Arinze, Alex Ekubo, Statenze, Atlanta Bridget Johnson, among others, to take us through the process that birthed the movie. We're now being joined by one of the cast, Alex Ekubo, and the executive producer, Olawumi Fajamirokun. While Alex Ekubo has been on the screen for almost forever, Olawumi Fajamirokun is a UK-trained accountant and a serial entrepreneur. Good to have you both on Newsday.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Good
us.
to be here. Good to be here.
I'll start with you, Olawumi. You don't see too many movies that depict specifically Igbo apprenticeship system. So how did this come about, and how were you able to weave a story around the concept?
Okay. Thank you for having us. I will say that because I saw the gap and my team saw the gap, we felt, why don't we do something different? Why don't we disrupt the industry in a positive way and really tell a story about us, Nigerians, what makes us, special, different. And for every Nigeria, we're so much interested in having our own little, I'll say, side gig, business, even from a young age.
True.
I started my own buying and selling from secondary school. So it's just so much in our blood. And I feel that the informal structure has been, the Igbos have done it so beautifully. So as a businesswoman, I'm always so interested in learning on, how do you become successful at your own small business. So yes, we took some scripts, we checked it, or should I say synopsis, and we felt which one is more relatable, something that has not really been told, and something that, a movie that we feel that the everyday Nigerian, from childhood to, whether you're in school or you're not in school, or should I say formal education, can actually relate to. And yes, the Igbo apprenticeship system was top of the list, and we decided to go for it.
Very good.
All right, let me come to you, Alex. I'm sure you've seen this thing play out firsthand.
Yes.
Just give us, what does it mean to you to try to capture that in celluloid, knowing that so many people do not even understand the system? Give us your own perspective.
I mean, first of all, I think that the Igbo apprenticeship system is one at the moment that is being understudied in Harvard University, so it's that major. And just being from Igbo descent and understanding, backhand and, what it's really about and what it represents and the symbolism of it to my people, to my culture, is just amazing. And being in the forefront to tell that story that thousands and millions of people all around the world can relate to. I mean, we've seen comments on social media, people saying, I remember when I was 7 in Alaba, I remember when I can relate to this story because I remember my father used to have boys like this, and then just seeing that you're being able to tell a story that a lot of people can relate to firsthand is a blessing, and just being part of this, I feel like for me it's a huge, huge blessing to tell the story of my people.
All right, allow me. So what did it take for this movie to be featured on the Netflix platform? Because quite a number of Nigerian movies, we're seeing that, they're making inroads into that platform. But, you must have done something right for you to be featured.
Casting, Alex.
Well, I'll say the role I have is, does anyone cook? Do you cook?
Yeah, I do cook.
You do cook?
I said
Do you cook? Okay, good. Alex.
No.
He likes to eat. So I see myself more as a chef, really. And, you want to put in the right ingredients in your meal. And, I cook. I won't tell you how well, but I don't want to blow my trumpet here. So, right down from even the onions you have, you say, okay, I'm going for red onions, I'm going for rosemary, I'm going for this, I'm going for these herbs. So I'll say we try to weave in, as it's not as easy, but in fact a bit difficult, trying to get the right script writers they can help us with our vision, to picking the director, Kayode Kasum, the actors, Alex,
Told you guys it was me.
Stan, Atlanta, KOK, which I kept on telling Kayode, please, he has to be the patriarch. He has to tell us a lot about the Nwa Boy system. Segun Arinze, the gaffer, behind the screen. So we just had to pick. It took a while to actually put that ensemble, and the production team, we were working tirelessly to do that. And once there were lots of shifting of dates, shifting of this, oh, this cannot happen, you know how it is. Yeah. But yes, just like cooking, you're trying to say, okay, do we have the right sauce? Do we have the right base? In fact, for me, do I have the right skillets? So, and obviously within scarce means as well. Yeah. So I think once we had that, first with the writing, went back and forth, what do we do here? What do we, to all of those things, we felt, okay, I think we have the right combination. Hopefully, God on our side, Netflix will pick it. And they had shown interest for a while. Okay. So I know that we're sure we had something good going, So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, you've mentioned that it is actually star-studded. And I want to come to you, Alex, because Kanayo. You mentioned Staninze, Segun Arinze, yes, Atlanta, and the rest of them. How did you draw your inspiration is my own big question. Because it's one thing to know about a system. It's one thing to have read about a system. But when you want to do a little bit of method acting, as some people will call it, you have to infuse yourself into the role. So how did you and the rest of the cast put themselves in that frame of mind to tell a story like this? Because you guys are actors. You guys have never probably, I don't know about you, but going there and actually grinding it out on a day-to-day basis. How did you prepare for a role like this?
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. You see, it's one thing to act a fictitious character just out of the blue, or you're this or that, but it's one thing to act a story that a lot of people can relate to and say, oh, so you have to worry about, am I doing it right? Am I getting it right? Is this the right mannerism? Is this how an Nwa boy would think? So people don't see you, they see the character. I'll give kudos to the executive producer for setting up a pretty wonderful team, from the director, the production company, Come On Nigeria. They were really hands-on. They created an enabling environment. They got an Igbo expert to sit with us, to work with us. We trained, we rehearsed for weeks before set. We got on set. We had to do a lot of research to put ourselves in there, to feel like, how would an Nwa boy think? How would an Nwa boy at this point, how would they relate? So we had a lot of character modeling after people to see, okay, you asked a personal question. So I had to do a lot of research. I called a few people I'd known, because I unfortunately didn't go through that system. I had to ask and say, okay, what did you go through? What were your high moments? What were your low moments? What are those things that people don't talk about that they will get to, you can get to bring out. And one of the research materials that I used, he said to me, he said, the pain, you can imagine the pain of serving your boss for 10 years or 8 years, and when you're about to be settled, and that is all you have lived your life for, that moment, they don't settle you. And people get to see that pain, that moment where they tell us to go get the materials for settlement, and then we get to the house, and I'm excited because I'm the older Uma boy, you know, and I'm there with him, and they ask him to get the kola nut from me and the drink. That betrayal, that hurt, is just, you know, it just came from a personal story that someone told me, and how he felt and how he lived. He's still living and dealing with that pain, and how that has affected him and his family all his life. So just being able to just do a lot of research and put yourself in the strip off Alex and be there is, first of all, they created the enabling environment, and it's just a blessing at the end of the day to tell this story, because I feel like with or without me, Afamefuna is going to definitely be a success story. And just seeing the accolades that it's getting right now, we have 4 major nominations at the upcoming AMVC Awards this Saturday. I'm nominated for Best Supporting Actor. We have the director, Kayode Kasum, for Best Director. We have Stan Nze, my brother, for Best Actor. We have Adora for Best scriptwriter. So I think, first of all, it's just a blessing to see that people are gradually, you know, feeling the impact of what we're able to put together.
All right, a blessing indeed. Allow me, we're fast running out of time, but I want your thoughts on your target audience, you know, for Afamefuna. And you have this scenario whereby I have to come in relating to the other questions I asked earlier. How is Netflix proliferation affecting the cinema culture as well, you know, regarding films such as yours?
I think with what's happened with Afamefuna, Netflix are also now becoming aware that a film, it's okay if it's very grassroots, relatable. I'll give you a brief story about what happened in Alaba that someone shared with me. They were, you know, Alaba, they sell TVs and stuff, and so they put on Afamefuna on all their TVs, and everyone around, as if they were watching football. They all gathered around and they're all watching, saying, this is us. This is, wow, we can relate. So going back to the target audience, we are going from, you want to be a budding entrepreneur? You know, are you in formal or informal education? Young, old? I've heard of people sending pictures or videos of their grandparents saying, this is the first time they are watching Netflix. I know of someone that lives in America, and the dad, actually, for Afamefuna, she did like a grand opening night in her house in Chicago. And then when everyone spoke to me, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so nice. You know, and the dad told her privately, how do I watch this Afamefuna again? He's never watched Netflix. So we're saying the target audience actually is from, you know, probably from 13 or youngster to age.
Everyone,
because
really.
Yes, because it's telling, there's a lot of history to it as well. So the older people can actually relate, and it's a story of resilience. If you listen very well to the scripts, especially the ones that KOK delivered, we're talking about the resilience of Nigerians, basically. So I will say that. And then going to the Netflix, I believe that Netflix, they're saying now that Blockbuster doesn't have to be, you know, action or, you know, it can actually be even in a drama and, you know, a very relatable format, really. So that's what I'll say.
All right, I want to say many thanks to you, Naomi. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Alex, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. We wish you and Afamefuna all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.